Hello, welcome to Stiff Right Hand. I'm the Dominator, Stu Allen, and this week my special guests are Big Dave and the Bulk, the UK Pitbulls.
He once punched his mother in her mammary glands. It's Angry Stu Allen of Stiff Right Hand.
Enough of that bollocks. Hello, thank you, and welcome to another throwback edition of Stiff Right Hand. I'm Stu Allen, and I'm here to tell you another thing. And that thing is, this week, we got the UKP on. It's the one that everyone's been waiting for. A lot of people have been asking, when are you going to get Big Dave and Mike on? So we've done it, and this whole episode's pretty much dedicated to them. They're both enormous fuckers, so hey, we might as well give them that entire fucking episode. So we've got a good hour-long chat coming up with them, along with our wrestle wrap-up from my man Wee Dan. Hello, Tanya.
I'm here, no.
Oh, you're here as well, scoffing your chops.
Yeah, I've got 12 bites. Other snack-sized confectionery is available.
It's getting a bit samey, this podcast, isn't it?
A little bit. I need to have a snack.
Mainly thanks to you.
Yeah.
Everyone comes tuning in. Oh, I can't wait to hear what she's eating this week.
I'm giving the kids what they want.
If I said that, there'd be no end of fucking aggro.
Wow.
I was thinking about that.
What, giving kids what they want?
Well,
now we're both in trouble.
Well, yeah. It's nearly Halloween, so I'm going to give the kids what they want.
Drugs.
It's all bums.
No.
No, because we do, because obviously, like, I'm 42 and you're cracking on.
Fuck off.
You're 33 and we get a lot of people, don't be silly, you know, old John. Gourmet. We do get a lot of people asking this.
Oh.
Not so much at me, but when I'm not around, it's very much a thing that women like to say to other women. Oh, well, when are you going to have kids? You say, well, don't really like kids. Yeah, but when they're your own, it's different when they're your own, isn't it? It's different when they're your own.
I'd rather not fucking risk it, to be honest, because I think everybody else's kid's pretty fucking terrible.
So I found a foolproof way of getting rid of those people.
I'm not shooting them in the fucking head.
No, I'll shoot them down, is what I do. And what I say to them is, yeah, but what if I end up fancying them? Because that always works. So I say, look, everyone knows kids can't resist a beard. And what if I end up fancying them? And then people just walk away.
Do you know which one I had recently was, oh, but your biological clock is ticking.
Oh, fuck
I'm
off.
a woman, not a fucking bomb. And if I'm...
Or a clock.
Yeah, if my fucking clock's going to go off and I'm going to fucking massacre everything with an explosion, that'll be because I choose to. So, fuck off.
You like to think your body is something a bit more,
Oh God! When your time's up, we're dickheads. So why bring out a hybrid?
You like to think yourself, we're very complicated human beings. Our bodies are very, very complicated working mechanisms. You don't like to think yourself as a clock. Although saying that, however, I did that thing that happens the other day. You know, when you've had too much to drink and you walk down the road and your body sloshes. You get that horrible slosh in your stomach and you think, all I am is a receptacle.
Well, that is true.
You think, but you think your body's a wonderful, complicated thing, and it's not. All it is just a housing for some lemonade.
Here, I've got a question about if we're talking about bodies. Why is it, right? You know when you have a wee, it's like just wee temperature, right? Whenever you have a workout, you've been to the gym, and then you have a wee then, why is it always really hot?
Well, obviously because your body's been working, hasn't it?
Yeah, but why is
because your fanny lips have been rubbing together and they've created hot piss.
No, because my fanny lips don't warm my piss up, because my piss sits in my bladder.
Hot piss, baby! Hot piss, baby!
I'm so sick of it.
Right, now.
It's just like this shit keeps me up at night. What are we talking about?
No, it doesn't. What, hot piss keeps you up at night?
Hot piss keeps me up.
Try some movie. So...
What?
Watched a good film last night, one I've been waiting to see for a while, which was Phoenix Forgotten, which I'd force you to watch because you get all weird about UFO and found footage movies.
I hate it.
They're my favourite kind of films.
I don't hate them because they're not enjoyable. I hate them because they scare me.
Yeah, I know. Well, I thought it was good because it's probably actually one of the very, very first UFO ones. Actually, if you think about it, we don't actually get to see an alien.
No, but you do get to see plenty, and what you see is it's scary without it being scary.
When you think about it, it's really, it was the build. I thought the build up and the finish. It's all a bit rushed at the end. It's like fucking 80 minutes long. It's not even a long film, but I thought it was really cool. And I was very excited today to find out that they're doing another Cloverfield as well, because I love those Cloverfield movies.
So I think they should do another one of those Phoenix Nights or whatever it was that we watched.
What?
What was the film called?
Not fucking Phoenix Nights. It's fucking Peter Kay.
Oh, yeah.
You're banging on about.
I don't know.
Why say anything? Just so unsure.
You made me do this. I'm only here under duress.
No, you're not.
I am. Help me.
You're not, under a blanket. What are you fucking talking shit? But anyway, Halloween's coming up.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It used to be. Halloween now is, to me, thoroughly disappointing, because back when I was a kid, you used to go for, unless my memory's completely wrong, I used to remember horror movies would start early on in the evening and go right through to the small hours in the morning.
Yeah, but you can't have that stuff on the TV anymore in case a child watches.
Oh, what about the children? Oh, what about the sexy children?
Oh, the children like demons.
Yeah, I know, it's fucking aggravating, because I like to...
Kids, I tell you what, kids have fucking ruined everything for me. Everything I love ruined by
me
kids.
too. But, yes, curb crawling for a start.
Yeah.
But the thing that pisses me off is that, like, you can guarantee, you can bet your bottom dollar on a bank holiday weekend, it'll be Herbie Goes Bananas, some fucking old James Bond film, or...
Yeah, well, you like James Bond
alright.
His way through another calamity, don't you?
Of course I do, I'm a bloke.
Dealing with it with fucking misogyny.
Dealing with it with guns and willies, that's how I deal with everything anyway.
Well done.
Guns, willies.
Your way through another one.
Yeah, that's how I've worked through life, fucking my way through it and drinking martini.
How's that work? You don't even like martini.
No, I know.
Don't lie.
I like the way you denied my martini, love, but agreed that I've agreed with all the rest. That my willy ways have won the day. But no, I don't understand. What are we talking about? No, bank holidays annoy me, because then you've got the same old films. But yet, when it's a really cool holiday, albeit a bit Americanised, Halloween, that they don't fucking they don't really give us what we want anymore.
No. But at least we'd like one Hammer horror movie and both of the Addams Family. Minimum.
No, Addams Family can kiss my ass.
No.
But yeah.
No.
But you can't beat the old classics, the old Hammer films. Let's have them. Let's have some modern stuff. It's all good.
And let's have some like Halloween stuff for the fucking kids. If they have to get involved in and ruin everything, bring a bit of Hotel Transylvania on.
Fed up with it. But anyway, when this podcast drops...
Oh, I hate it when you do that.
Yeah, well, it's my show.
It's not the most anticipated album of the year.
The most anticipated podcast of this week.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And so, when this podcast drops, it's going to be Saturday, which will be the date of our show, October 21st, the day where the wrestling world says goodbye to Jinx. I really hope we have a great turnout. Our ticket sales have been pretty good from what I can surmise, and there's it's the biggest card we've had in the terms of matches. It's a stacked show.
It's a 9-match card.
A 10-match card in actual fact, and it's yes, with Aaron as well, and it's a 10-match card, and it's absolutely stacked. So if you haven't got your ticket yet and you're listening to this in the morning, please get your ass down to the Sussex Coast College at Station Plaza in Hastings, right by the station. You cannot miss it, and come see us tonight if you get a chance.
There'll still be a small number on the door, won't there?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Depending on what resale's like, obviously, guys, but there'll be a small number available on the door.
What's been happening? I've just seen tonight that a federal judge has blocked Trump's third travel ban, which is quite good, isn't it?
Oh, he's the worst.
I just wanted to do a bit of Trump news. I'm going to have to...
Yeah, well,
I'm going to have to sort of jingle out for that bit of Trump news.
Perplexes me a little bit, right? Why certain Trump voters, and there are people on my that are friends with me on Facebook, so you know the fuck I'm talking about. But there are people and women that voted in Trump who's done like loads and loads of alleged sex abuse and assaults and stuff, but they're all getting all up in arms about this Harvey Weinstein burger field stuff. And it's just like, surely it's the same fucking thing. A wealthy white American man using fucking wealth and privilege to get away with fucking with like hate crimes to women.
The more I see about that Harvey Weinstein thing, the more I think it stinks. Actually, I'll be fucking honest. I'm not really popular saying it, but I think I think a lot of those women, they took the money from the films, they took the Oscars. They fucking, he's hasn't done an awful lot of stuff recently. Now someone's come out of the woodwork and said that his career's fucked. Shit, let's get on the bandwagon and see what we can get from this now. Jump off a sinking ship, quite literally. And I'm not saying they fucking enjoyed doing anything they do, but I do believe there was casting couches. I do believe that there are women out there who would fucking do that to get ahead and have done it. And this is their recompense for it. And I think it's, I think. Not excusing what he's done, but I think there's some fucking absolute career bitches out there as well that haven't been completely innocent from the whole thing. For
sure, but I think that this is looking at it from another perspective as a survivor or as a victim of sexual assaults. I would say that also these women have a responsibility to everyone.
Not from me, mate. It might be add.
No, not from me, but for everyone that comes after them, they have that duty of care and duty of responsibility. Just for me, maybe it's an integrity thing. That, do you know what? You should always be the last person, because it is difficult to speak up sometimes. And yes, it took me fucking years to do something about it, but it took me having to protect one of my siblings to make me speak about it. But now I won't stop speaking about it. So if anyone comes to me, like since my podcast, for example, lots of people come and spoken to me about similar experiences and stuff.
Yeah, that was really good.
It's almost it's like a tonic for it. Like, nothing will ever heal that hurt that lives in me, but it is like a plaster over the healing wound, to know that, one, I can protect someone else, or two, I can help somebody else on a similar journey reach a better destination, at least the destination where I am at.
Right, and exactly, and that's what never happened in this case, apart from the odd few. Like, I know Courtney Love went out there and she got fucking shit canned from Hollywood for it, and a few other people did as well. And I think a lot of those top name actresses.
Because if people aren't listening, make them listen. Like, use your voice.
Of course they come out, and they're fucking powerful women and powerful people in their own right. It's not, it's not a case of victim or a woman victim. No, you're
like, if Angelina Jolie had stepped out like when it happened and went, right, look, do you know what? This is what's happening to young actresses.
Absolutely right. She's the number fucking one as well. And it's no good coming in being like, the sixth or seventh person to fucking say something. If you weren't so busy trying to fucking create the fucking national, United Colours of Benetton out of stolen children from fucking different countries, then you might have been able to help.
Adopted children.
Yeah, whatever. She's a cunt. And she could have helped some other people out there, in my opinion. But yeah, going back to Trump. So there's that. So he got voted in. We were talking about him anyway. So he got voted in on a lie. He said he was going to build a wall. He didn't build a wall. He's not
allowed to build a
wall. Exactly.
Build a wall. But people are paying for this wall.
So the president, in actual fact, is a figurehead and has no actual real power, because if you come up with something ludicrous like we're going to give all children, 10 gold bars tomorrow morning, it's going to get overruled because it's bollocks, and that's what's happened with this travel ban. Another one he said, because I wanted to talk about the old Louis Theroux show. This is a quote from Donald Trump. Because we're going to have a major announcement probably next week on the drug crisis and on the opioid massive problem. That's his really grammatically bad quote.
I fucking think that the best thing they could do is take away his Twitter, because he's ridiculous.
Yeah, but what did you not hear what I just said about the opioid problem? We were watching that Louis Theroux programme last week, which was fucking incredible, and it was talking about the pharmacists in America. It's huge. There's so much money, they're literally palming people off with drugs left, right and centre. People are ended up not being able to get prescriptions for them, then having to go down the routes of scoring from the black market and buying some really nasty shit.
That it's because they have privatised healthcare, right? So that is a cause. But do you not think that it's because in America they have a thing that we don't have here, where big pharma companies can advertise. They're like, oh guys, you're a little bit tired. Well, then you need these.
Yeah.
Don't get tired pills.
They've got everything. They literally have got everything. I was able to. When I used to use a lot of ephedrine, when I used to work out and use ephedrine to work out and use working out as a excuse to use fucking ephedrine, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I used to have that all the time. So when I was in America, obviously I couldn't travel with it. So to get ephedrine, I just went to a fucking garage, and they've got what they call pet pills. You can buy it.
What the long distance drivers,
and you can just go and fucking. I remember you could just go drop in there and buy this shit. But that's beside the point. I mean, there's these big pharma companies are making an absolute fucking killing, and this is before you talk about heroin or cocaine or anything else. These are opioids in their own right, and there were people on that show. There was that guy who was an internet guru, wasn't he? Had his own internet business and was worth several million, and he was living in that, and
that little tent city, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was. I don't know if you guys watch Louis Theroux, but obviously aware of him.
You fucking should.
You should watch his stuff, and it's frightening. It's a frightening insight into the land of the free. I tell you, it's because there are a lot of places that are in the shit over there.
Well, it's just that the thing is with opioids is they're very, very difficult drugs to deal with, because your body naturally will build a tolerance to them. So you're constantly going to need a bigger and bigger dose. So that's why there's such a linkable. What's the word I'm looking for? So you're going to start with smaller doses.
It's all about the gateway drugs, probably.
And end up with heroin, course. And that's why it's so obvious.
But I think
Louis handled it wonderfully.
They've already put that down as one of the quotes from Donald Trump that he said this week that they know he's not going to look at all. So again, he's going to be looking at all the things he shouldn't be looking at. But there's. I used to want to live in America really badly. Well, I did live in America for a time, but I really wanted to live over there full time. And now looking at it, I'm not so sure it's the best place in the world at all. And it's really sad, because I've got a lot of friends there and I do love America, but there's some frightening shit going on there at the minute. That's for sure. Anything else before we go into this week's interview?
I just wanted to say on the subject of Louis Theroux, which is what I wanted to say to you the other, which is what I said to you the other day.
Oh well, I tweeted him about that.
Did you?
Yes, I said my wife says that you're amongst the very best of us, and humans don't deserve you like dogs.
Yeah, we don't deserve dogs, and we don't deserve Louis Theroux. You sir are amongst the very best of us. Like Louis Theroux and Billy Connolly. He sits there amongst the very. I think Billy Connolly might be the best human being on.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not religious. I believe there's something greater, but I don't know what it is. But I'll tell you what. I reckon it might be Billy Connolly.
Yeah, like if God was one of us,
I think it probably is.
If God was just knocking about on Earth, he's definitely Billy Connolly.
I would say so.
Definitely.
I would. And when my time comes, and if I do get on, which is very, very highly unlikely, but if I saw Billy Connolly stand there, I'd be thrilled to fucking bits. Yeah. And I think there's a good chance it is him, because he's wonderful, and I love him. And we're going to go and see Brian Blessed, aren't we?
Oh, I can't wait to go see Brian Blessed. In a little bit, you are him.
And wow.
Tell him about that alarm clock.
No.
Go on.
I've downloaded a Brian Blessed alarm clock, and it was so loud it made Tan cry.
Yeah, it was so loud it woke me up.
Wakey!
Fucking hell. It woke me up with such a start. And when it
frightened me, I'll be honest. It woke me up with such a jolt. I thought my head was, like the old thing at the fun fair where you hit the thing and it sends the little.
Two settings for that. One is murder, and then the other is cry uncontrollably.
Well, I'm glad you opted for the latter.
Scared the shit out.
And it was literally Brian Blessed's face appears on the phone, screaming at you.
I was like, take that off your fucking phone now!
I don't know why I thought it was a good idea. Now I've got a lovely little app that plays birdsong.
Yeah, and then like coffee's boiling.
And often doesn't wake me up at all. But anyways, anything's better than having Brian Blessed wake you up. But yeah, we're going to go and see him at the Swan in High Wycombe in, when was that? March?
In March, maybe go see the old family.
Yeah, looking forward to that. So, well, without any further ado, we're going to get on to I had a chance to have a sit down and talk to my dear old friends I've known for many, many years. Bulk and Big Dave.
Overgrown fucking naughty boys.
Overgrown naughty boys. Giant fools that all three of us are. And we've got up to some wonderful things all around the world. And I wanted to talk to them about their time in WAW and some of their wonderful European adventures. So we got to sit down this week and have a chat. So here you go.
Giving you your weekly dose of a kick in the nuts, this is Stiff Right Hand.
Okay, welcome to Stiff Right Hand. I'm here with two of my very favourite people in wrestling. They are the UK Pitbulls, one of the greatest tag teams that this country's ever produced. Hello Dave, hello Mike.
Alright Stu.
I wish I'd like to say I'm here with two of my favourite people in wrestling, but I'm fucking not.
Oh, that's fucking charming, isn't it? That's hurtful. Immediately has to be spiteful.
Well, I just start to mean to go on one of my favourite people.
Immediately starting with pinching and putting cigarettes out of my head.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, good to see you, man.
Yeah.
So listen, I want to start from the very beginning with you two boys, because I can't remember the first time I met you. It must have been around 2004.
It was a Stevie Knight show, wasn't it?
Was it a show? I don't think
it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. You were meant to be at Stevie Knight show.
I wasn't there. I can't remember why I wasn't there. I think
it was that.
Thanks for immediately bringing that up. Fuck me.
It was, wasn't it a show in Holland, wasn't it?
Was it? No, I think you'd already be wrestling me for EWW. I think it would have been about 2004. Okay. But anyway, upon meeting you two, I immediately heard and read loads about you, and obviously we hit it off straight away. And we've got up to all sorts of nonsenses which we're going to go through along the space of this interview. But I want to start off rather boringly by asking you how you both got into the business.
You start first. You start before me.
I started with Hammerlock actually.
Did you? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I started. Did one of their 10-day boring little things down in Kent.
Yeah.
Stayed in them installed than that and froze to death and was like treated like, well, you know. And that was quite good. I went down there, did a bit with them, and didn't do much after that. Was doing strongman rather a lot back then, and it was sort of like wrestling or strongman. I took the strongman, then we went that. Basically, we went to Norwich Cornhall. Basically, it was like when we first sort of properly got into it.
Yeah, we went to the Cornhall and we sort of started talking to. We met Paddy and Julia. We didn't really know. You know, we kind of knew a little bit.
Mike couldn't give a fuck about doing it really. He didn't shit.
No, I didn't. I don't want to do it. No, because there was three of us used to go up there. There was a guy we called Little Dave, and obviously Big Dave, And I didn't I wouldn't give a fuck really. I just wanted to see people kick the fuck out of each other. We were massive at the time. ECW had just got sort of like with tape traders and stuff, the old ECW stuff. Everyone was like, this was about 96, 97, sort of mid 96 probably. We started going up there a lot, and we were massively into just watching people kick the fuck out of each other with ECW and all that sort of stuff. And watching the WH, well, we started going when Dixon ran it. I started going and watching the shows when Dixon had it, and then it suddenly got slightly better. and obviously that's when Paddy came over, and we saw less of the sort of a little bit more gritty stuff, and we just got chatting to them, sort of, you know, got chatting to them after shows, and like, you know, and like mentioned him and his mate Little Dave mentioned that they'd done a bit for Hammerlock, and there's anywhere they can sort of train, and we found out that they'd done training there, and then it started with you two guys.
Well, actually, me and my mate Dave actually had a tryout for Dixon. He thought we were fucking rotten. So
well, he says that about anyone who's big, doesn't he?
Well, you still think so about me.
What's that, you know? Fucking hell.
The fucking Pitbulls.
The fucking
he only still books me when the fucking henchmen can't make it.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Cunts.
They're in Germany at the moment, aren't they, Mike?
Fuck off.
Have you ever wrestled in Germany? No, you haven't, have you?
I have wrestled in Germany. I've flown into Germany.
Yeah, we've flown into Germany. We've never wrestled.
So the henchmen are nicking.
Bless them.
Yeah,
they're like
good lads. Good
full
lads.
version like 0.5 really, aren't they?
They're like the pit puppies, aren't they?
Well, they are very much like Pink Birds. Two
I'll
fresh brand new ball bags.
I'll backpedal here. I do like the guys. They are nice guys.
Well, you know me, I've got all the time in the world for ginormous fuckers with beards, so yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm not going to rip the shit out of them, though.
Well, there you go. I should hope not. So you started off with the War Guys, so who came up with the name for you two?
Well, Dave had trained for about 6 months with WW. I had to just go up there, hang out, and just sort of take the piss and have a laugh with, I got sort of friendly with some of the guys and that. And they kept on at me to do it, and I'm like, I don't want to, I'm not interested. So I stopped, fuck it. I was a right fat bastard, as I still am, but I was really out of shape then. I hadn't really trained and nothing. So I thought I'll do a bit of the wrestling training to get a bit fitter and just sort of maybe get a bit more agile. Just because I was playing the band at the time. I still am, but that was my full-time thing then. And getting pissed and smoking loads of weed, and then so I just started doing the training.
Nothing changed.
I just started doing the training, and then we got the bug, and then
we actually wrestled each other quite a lot for the first sort of year or so, which we absolutely hated.
I can imagine. I'd have fucking hated it all.
Oh, awful.
But we didn't really have a lot of choice. I mean, one night it was we did a show with Marty Jones, and the match was so bad, Mike kicked me in the head by concussion. Well, Marty thought the match was so good, he gave us a bonus.
That's fucking brilliant.
He's probably looking at someone different.
It was on.
You can tell.
That was actually on the camps when we found the Pitbulls. And started doing the Pitbulls on the camps. They wanted to call us the British Bulldogs.
Yeah, we're like, nah, that's a bit hokey. You can't do that. So we thought UK Pitbulls, Vulcan, Big Dave, that'll do, and then that just stuck. I mean, yeah, it was a nod to the ECW Pitbulls, but it is a name that we took at the time
because we looked just like them.
And it was something that could be abbreviated to UKP, which is fucked now with UKIP, isn't it? Can't really use that anymore. I'd done a show in Scotland, and so I had UKP stuff on, and some guy come up to me and goes, "Doesn't that say UKIP?" This is probably older than you cunt, this kid. But yes, so then we just, a few people really didn't want us to do.
People didn't want us to team and that really, so we had to sort of go off. So we went off on our own really and took.
I mean, I don't. I mean, obviously, me and Dave. The moment you didn't have Daddy had died recently. Stats had recently died. There was no real proper big guys doing the big man matches. So a lot of guys were me and Dave versus
Crusher
each other.
Mason, we wrestled a lot, didn't we?
Yeah, so you really sort of blame people for that, but we hated wrestling each other. We wanted to push the brother tag team, so we just went off on our own, and we were helped loads at the start by the WW guys, Ricky, Julia, Crusher. You can't fault it. Do you know what I mean? We just then branched off and just done our own thing as UKP. Simple as that. We wanted to match ourselves, and we didn't stop till we had the opportunity to go and do that.
Excuse me.
Do you know what I mean? What are you doing? Fuck.
Oh my Christ. Pure
fucking hell. I'm eating a lot of protein at the moment.
I can smell.
So.
Oh.
That's all right. I had 5 Big Macs earlier.
It's snack.
I just know. I already know Flatliner's going to be listening to this, pissing his pants.
No, but like I say, we had loads of really good opportunities. Loads of good opportunities with WW. Gave us after we started doing and
we've had our sort of differences with them over the years, but I think everyone does in wrestling. You have different ideas how your directions want to go, and you fall out, you get back in with it.
They brought us into the business, and that they gave us the kickstart, and we'll be forever grateful for that. A lot of other guys, Collins, sort of took us under their wing a bit. You know what I mean?
Crusher was probably
Crusher. Valuable to us as big guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we were just around the right people at that time. I'm talking about 98, 99. Those.
Well, my first match was like 98. Yours was a bit later, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I go from when we started training. So I always say I've been in the business about sort of 20 years, I guess. I suppose. Do you know what I mean? Give or take 6 months.
So when you guys were were officially a team, you both looked pretty slick. So I remember obviously you had the gear, which was the bollocks. You were both in the orange. You had a really really decent act down. Who was that? All your stuff?
Gone from taking the sort of stealing stealing everything. You know, we took all this British style.
All the villains had red and black, didn't they?
All the villains are red and black, wasn't it? We nicked a lot of stuff from the sort of big guys from the 80s, like Scrubber Damus, from like LOD, Natural Disasters. You know, those are the things that I like to see. I like to see big guys kicking the fuck out of little guys. The 80s jobbers matches, you know, wrestling challenge matches. Do you know what I mean?
Warlord, Barbarian.
Yeah, so that's the sort of stuff we were going for, and I think it kind of worked. You know, we never thought it worked.
Well, the thing that always surprised me before I met you when I saw some of your stuff was, like, I'd obviously heard about it, was how fucking agile you actually were, because, like, the first time I saw... Well, no, but I mean, I mean, say, all of us, but I mean, is it possible?
I used to do that. I used to do the jump. The crowd could drop kick. I mean, I couldn't really do that sort of stuff anymore. I could barely put a wrist lock on that.
20 years ago.
So he'd done the wrestling bit of it and that sort of stuff, and I done it was a bit mental.
We did a lot. I mean, we did a lot of like the hardcore stuff as well. But I mean, my favourite is the technical stuff, but we didn't really get a chance to do a lot of it, like is the Pitbulls. So when we used to wrestle people like Doug Williams and Flash Barker, I always like to do have some technical stuff, you know, and sort of get a bit of fun that way, and then beat the shit out of them afterwards.
Yeah, that was back in the day when we actually liked being in the ring. Now I just want to get in and out as quick as possible.
Yeah, me too, man. I hear that. But I mean, it was always refreshing, because I mean, tell me about your first, because obviously you guys hit the wrestling around the time of the first real golden era. Well, it was the second ever golden era, really, the FWA days.
Yeah, well, they brought us in to do the Team Gauntlet match, and they brought us in. There was, I think, George Castano and his brother were in it.
Rosson.
They were in it.
The new breed were like...
Anyway, we done this fucking gauntlet match, and the fucking fans absolutely hated us, because we were too fat to act coming in. Also, we got used for a bit. Dino Sky didn't really like us. In the end, I think he got fed up with us. No, but it was good. We were there the night that the neck injury.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so many people believe.
A certain wrestler said he was going to quit, didn't he?
A certain wrestler, I won't name names, said, if this comes out that this injury is at work, I'm hanging my boots up forever.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but how's it Mark's line? Well, you didn't name any names.
No, I didn't name any names. No. See, it doesn't matter. Dave can say what the fuck he wants because he's retired. I'm the one that can't burn too many bridges. But then around that time, we done the FWA. We done loads of other sort of little tiny little companies like Broad, SCW, and all these other little rotten companies.
Well, no. To be fair, they booked us, didn't they?
So they booked us and made us what we wanted. So we were getting work. Do you know what I mean? And at that time, we went to the States. We got a deal. We got flown over there. And then the guy who took us over to the States said, "Oh, I get you work every single day." And he got our flight sponsored or something. I can't remember what actually happened. But we got out there. He goes, I haven't got any work for you yet.
We were stuck in a motel at a truck stop for about a week.
Oh no!
I'm like, when are we starting? Because we went out there to fucking. We went out there for like 2 months.
We were going to fucking work home, weren't we?
We're like, what the fuck? Luckily, we hooked up with a guy called AC. He wrestled as Creeping Death, and we ended up staying with him, fucking off this other guy.
Myrtle Beach.
And we ended up staying in Myrtle Beach, and he got us all the jobs he was booked on at the time, and it was fucking great. We got loads of work, and it was awesome. So every cloud, but yeah, that was around the time of the LFWA lot, and then we still got working for Scott Conway and Dixon around that time as well. So there wasn't any shortage of work.
Camps a lot as well, weren't we?
Yeah, all the camps. We've done all the camps. I mean, the camps were invaluable for us the last couple of years. Do you know what I mean? You know, have you ever done the camp scene, Steve?
Oh fucking hell! Well, I did the camps with. All right, I ain't falling for that shit now. Very good. You know I've done the camp scene.
Yeah, we know that very well.
Yeah, fuck me.
The Chippendales.
But I mean, it always. I mean, in a way, I mean, you paved the way for some of the bigger boys to get involved with the FWA, because a lot of that was real, what I'd call smarky fucking, sit on your hands brigade. But when you guys got booked in there, then they started bringing other people in, like obviously myself and Darren Walsh and that. So I think that was probably thanks to you guys, really.
Yeah, you can thank us.
Probably, yeah.
Well, I thought I would, even though you just...
thank you very much.
Even though you just essentially called me a queer, but on my own show.
They were good times. I mean, that was around the sort of time that the Birchall was then coming through and that, you know what I mean?
Well, that sort of finished us off, really, Birchall coming in, really, but...
Yeah, we were meant to have the Uprising match we'd done for FWA. It was kind of our last sort of show, really, we'd done for them, I think.
The original plan was us to do about a 25-minute match with the new breed, and we had like loads of stuff we were going to do, new stuff we were going to debut, and basically got turned into a Birchall squash at the last minute, and ended up like we did about 2 minutes in the end. And
the new breed come out. I don't know if anyone's seen British Uprising. The new breed come out. Just before we come out, Birchall hits the ring, destroys them, and then we come out and we just done a couple of moves, hit our finisher, and that was it. Got Birchall over a treat. I don't think the crowd liked it. It looked okay.
It looked fine for like the TV, but I mean we weren't happy. The new breed weren't happy because it wasn't what we wanted. But
on the plus side, we ended up doing like 3 minutes for the same amount of money we would have got for doing 25 minutes. So
yeah, that's the way I look at it. Fuck.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But at that time, that was at the point. But we did that time where we kind of wanted to prove ourselves as not being this two fat guys. We kind of wanted to do a little bit more. Do you know what I mean?
Through FWA, we did the Dirty Sanchez stuff as well.
Let's talk about that, because when I brought you guys down to Oxford and we took you out for a couple of promotional nights, that's the one thing that everyone did recognise you guys from.
Yeah, well, that was a show with, I think it was, I can't remember who it was now.
Oxford, was it? No,
where was something? I fucking know.
It was like a British version of Jackass, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, the show we'd done, we'd just come back from festival.
Yeah, we went to Leeds Festival for the weekend, and this show was on the Bank Holiday Monday, and we hadn't showered all weekend.
We'd come straight from the show,
getting smashed all for 4 days, living in a fucking tent. We were fucking minging. We went straight to the show, and then and then the guys were there fucking around. We didn't even know what was going on when we first got there, and then they had all these sheets. We had to sign like the waivers and stuff, and they said UK Jackass on it. I think it did anyway.
Yeah, before they had
Jackass. Before they had the Dirty Sanchez name. And they were just filming as much as they could, just for the first series. And then they were fucking around in the ring with some wrestlers, getting people to kick the fuck out of them and that. And they were backstage, and they were like, "Oh, we want to lick your sweaty armpits after your match." And I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." It was like, "This is a bit shit." And I said, "Like, how extreme do you guys want to go?" And they're like, "Well, we want to do as much as we can, man. We want to be the best." So I'm like, okay, cool. So Dave grabbed the guy, shoved his head into my armpit, and bear in mind, we just wrestled the match. We hadn't showered for 4 days. Yeah, I said, fucking lick these, you cunt. So fucking bent over, pulled the fucking whole wrestling together.
He really didn't want to do it, but I grabbed him in a headlock, and I forced his face right into Mike's bollocks and arsehole. And the dirty bastard, he threw up all over my arm. He didn't actually show that, and it just he threw up everywhere. And then he was just sick in the toilet for about 10 minutes afterwards. Yeah, and we were fucking minging.
Dave's never sick after.
The other guys, it was the Dan Joyce, I think, was the one who did it, but it was the other guys thought it was brilliant. They loved it.
Yeah, loved it. That was a laugh on it.
We actually filmed some more stuff for them, didn't we?
Yeah, I remember the guys on the old BMX who'd clothesline off after they'd do the loop and all that shit.
Yeah, that got used as like DVD extras, I think.
Yeah, we went to a skate park in London and we did like a whole day's filming there, and it only just got used for like little bits on DVD.
I think they were just filming as much as they could at that point to fill up the first series. But I thought they were going to pixelate my arse and bollocks out.
They didn't have enough technology.
I know, it's like you can see it.
There weren't enough pixels.
I look like a fucking turkey.
For anyone who hasn't seen this, listening, the only way I can describe, every time I've seen it, and I've seen it a lot, I always get confused what's arsehole and what's bollocks.
Yeah. Actually,
he's got the tiniest arse in the world for big.
I've got a cool story about that. Dirty Sanchez thing. When a friend of mine is a tour bus driver and drives people around and big bands and stuff, and it's probably about, because that's like 20 years old now, that fucking Dirty Sanchez thing there, you know. Like 18 years old. It was about 10 years ago. He was driving Marilyn Manson around, and they were watching that Dirty Sanchez series on the tour bus.
That's amazing.
And they're all and they parked up, and you can hear all these fucking laughing, kind of, and it's Manson and his band watching the scene of me and my arse and bollocks. And this dad walks through. Luke, his name is Luke Green. He walked through and he goes, "That's my mate. I grew up with him in my hometown." Do you know what I mean? And they're like, "Oh man, this is fucking insane!" Like, so Marilyn Manson, see my arse and bollocks, and he fucking loved them.
That is fucking gold. Can you tell me this story, Mike, about because you've got this wonderful party trick where you can voluntary open your cheeks and just fart at any given time? Can you tell us the Johnny Storm story?
The Johnny.
Yeah, well, Johnny Storm from
James Mason's favourite story.
This is James Mason's favourite story, and you know, and we're in Ireland, and we were doing a tour of Ireland for Roy Williams, and somehow Johnny found himself onto the show. I don't know how he does, and he was. We were backstage, and none of the matches we had out there we hated at the time, and we were just making our own fun.
Hello, Ireland.
I didn't. I hated Ireland, and then too many Irish. And anyway, he fucking he sat there after, and I just come out, pulled my arse cheeks apart. I think he was eating at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was eating out of some rice and chicken or something.
Yeah, and I just done a massive
this nugget of shit flew out of Mike's arse and basically landed on Johnny's nose and stuck there briefly.
Oh, mate.
It was like everything stopped. It was like motion.
Now, this is Dave's perspective of it. I can't remember any shit.
Yeah, because you didn't look at your own arsehole, did you?
Johnny will deny any crap flying out my arse. So I just don't know. But Dave and James Mason, they're adamant that
there was a nugget of shit flew out. But Johnny probably didn't realise and probably ate it.
I'll go with it. Yeah. I shout on Johnny Storm.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah. It's amazing.
I do love Johnny, though.
Yeah.
A bit, in a way.
So, let me have a little trick, because obviously you guys have both got your different interests. I know Mike's, you got your Fat and Furious, you love your drumming, you love your music. But before, obviously, the wrestling went big, Dave, you obviously had a horrendous fucking incident at your strongman. I was actually chatting to someone recently, I think it was last time I was up in Norwich, someone who was actually there the day that happened, and I didn't realise the extent of how actually fucking horrific it was. But can you tell us about any of that?
Well, I was like in the mid-90s. I did really well in the strongman, and like got in the UK finals and come second in the country in that. And then wrestling took over really, and we got our own gym in 2004, and I started training for strongman again. And because one of the other guys, Richard Hudson, was started to do strongman, and we were training together, and I planned on a bit of a comeback, and on my second show back down in Kent, doing a show called Britain's Most Powerful Man, I think it was. There was quite a few names. There was Lawrence Chalet was there. He was there, and some of the bigger names. Rob Frampton, I think, was down there.
Yeah.
Superstar Billy Graham was there.
Yeah, it's not your story, is it? You have your fucking chance.
That's who it was. I was talking to. It was Rob Frampton, because we did a show in gospel. We did a show in gospel with him recently, and I was talking to him about it.
Yeah, and basically, I was like, my best event was the Farmer's Walk. So this is quite ironic, really, because we're doing the Farmer's Walk, and I'm like running down the course. Go a little bit faster. And next now, the whole world's fucking turned upside down, and I basically, what's happened is I've fallen on the floor, and didn't really feel any pain at the time, but
clumsy cunt.
I'd ruptured my left leg patella tendon, and my kneecap basically ended up right up near my hip, and all the way. I don't know if people know what the Farmer's Walk is. Basically, I had 110 kilo in each hand, and you've got to beat the other guy running with it.
Farmer's Walk, when you walk with a cock up a pig, isn't it?
No, that's why you fucking walk. Again, your story. Fucking hell, limelight hogger. So anyway, all the weight's gone over on the other side, and I've ruptured my quadricep tendon in my right leg and all my quad muscle in my right leg. So here I am on the floor.
So in the Queen's English, basically, you've torn the muscles off the bone.
Yeah, basically.
Can I just add to this? I wasn't there at the time. No. If I had been, I'd have teabagged him.
I basically lay on the floor, not moving, and they sent like a tiny little ambulance to come to begin with. And I remember all the guys going, "You're gonna need a fucking bigger ambulance for a start."
You need a bigger boat.
Pumped me full of morphine. It didn't do any good at all. And they were all just fucking taking the piss, just wanted to get the fucking cripple out of the way, sort of thing. And as strong men do, a bit like wrestling. And basically, I spent about 8 weeks in hospital with double leg casts from my hip right down to my feet. And it was a pleasant little summer. The whole summer was like taken up doing that.
So I mean, both quads were ripped straight off the fucking bone. I mean, so
it was the patella tendon was the problem in my left leg, that's what connects like your kneecap to your shin bone, and they had a lot of trouble reconnecting it properly, and the right leg healed well, but I had a lot of complications with the left leg, and it still hasn't. It never did heal, and I've had 4 operations, and basically the risk is now if they risk another one, I could risk amputation through swelling. And
when you woke up for the operation, you had a fanny and a pair of tits.
Again, not your fucking story. Fuck off, Mike. Fuck's sake. Dude, can you just get Mike to tell a fucking story in a minute and I'll get it out of his system? He's like not the centre of attention at the moment.
Oh, I'm not going to eBay butt plugs. Scott, you talk.
Right. So anyway, that's nearly finished now anyway, so you get your chance soon enough.
I got this story.
So anyway, so as a result, I'm still disabled now because it never healed properly, and I need crutches now, but I'm now now back in the gym, and it's taken me a long while. Well,
it was a devastating injury, and it's obviously every time I've seen you at shows, it's always been pretty. It's a shame because, like I say, personally, I miss you boys being there together.
Yeah, well, I do try and get along to the shows when I can, and that. But
we sometimes take him for a day trip. Bless him. I will just with Dave being on crutches. I did once, not so long ago, change the height of one of them, and Dave didn't realise.
I didn't realise for 2 weeks. I wonder why I've got such a bad back.
He's such a cunt.
Brilliant. Oh, the best
he's constantly doing it. Like when I'm sitting down somewhere, they'll get chucked in a field, or we went to the guys in France who we used to work for were very nice. They took me over as well to be Mike's sort of one-off sort of manager, wave at the crowd,
Like Barnum's elephant.
Yeah, like Barnum's elephant. Like John Fremantle had me down like Barnum's elephant,
Yeah, here's Jumbo.
Yeah. Bring me out in front of the crowd, wave, that sort of thing. Well, anyway, and we were on the ferry over, and he threw my crutches everywhere. And
when Dave's standing there in public with both his hands on his crutches, you can fucking put his trousers down a tree, and he can't. I can't
really do a lot about it. Really, I just have to stand there like it. But
well, mate, to be able to just on a serious note for a couple of minutes, so I know there's not really many serious notes here. I think the way that you handled it all, considering how much love you had for wrestling, I think you handled it incredibly fucking well. And you're a true man, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and it's nice to see you getting back into your training and enjoying it all again.
The first couple of years were difficult, and because I still sort of hoped back then that maybe I could come back in that. And when I realised I couldn't, I sort of just got on with life, like doing different things, family, that sort of thing. And
well, it makes you realise that you've always got to have more in life than just wrestling, because. I've always struggled to connect with people that are only just all about the wrestling. Do you know what I mean? And it's because you guys have got other strings to your bow, and I think that's probably what's seen you through, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I like my gardening and
me too, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I know Flatliner will love that. I haven't given him a picture of my pumpkins yet. They love that.
Hey, me too, man. I'm growing some beautiful chilies at the moment, man. It's the little things, dude.
Yeah,
the thing is, it it was shit for me at the time though, because obviously I was partnerless. And
that's all about you, Mark.
I know. So
it was shit for me.
It was good for me, really, in a way, because, like, you know, what I mean, I'd fallen out of love with wrestling anyway at that point, more or less. So I just sort of concentrate. You know, now I put wrestling is like the third thing on my agenda, really. You know, it's family first, band, and it's wrestling's third now. So
that's very sensible as well. You've settled down. You've got a lovely wife. You still keep your hand in with your music, and I think that's very fucking important. But tell me, because obviously everyone was so used to seeing the big freak show that was the UKP. Trying to get someone to fill Dave's boots is very difficult. So the first partner he had was a lad called Khan.
Yeah, well, he was. I'll tell you what, he was fucking awesome, and I love the guy.
He was cool. He looked like one of the Moondogs.
Yeah, he was great, and he ticked all the boxes. And we'd done the Unnatural Disasters, and we done the TNA boot camp thing. We'd done some stuff in Europe. Dixon loved us for some reason. Lots of people used us, and we had quite a lot of work. Ian McGregor gave us the majority of our work, and we were working with some really good lads on each other, like people like Johnny Moss and those sort of lads, and a guy called Billy Moshpit, who's probably one of the most underrated workers about at the moment. Well, about for years probably, and we had quite good fun. But he fucked Disney up as well, stupid cunt. So because he's got a regular job, you know, he's got a mortgage, and he had to put his work before wrestling and he just couldn't afford to put himself in, you know, his health, you know.
Any worse can be any worse.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. So so he had to basically take a back seat, and he ended up quitting. He tore his ACL, and he just didn't want to risk it anymore. Didn't want to risk any more injuries. So I ended up with another daft cunt as a tag partner called Joe FX.
I was just going to get him as a dear old Joe. Yes.
Who I love to pick. I mean, Joe. His real name's Baz. He'll hate me calling him Baz, but he is one of our first trainees we had when we had the gym, the Pitbull Powerhouse. One of our first trainees who got out on the circuit, and he was like a skinny lad, would never take his top off, he wrestled in baggy pleather, and this is, you know, he now wrestles.
We basically completely ruined him.
He now wrestles in his fucking underwear.
Well, I remember the first time you brought him down to me once, and I remember he was a sort of a skinny guy. So when I saw him again years later with you guys, I was like, holy shit, he looked like he'd eaten the other guy, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he now weighs about 22 stone, he's got a massive beard, you know, he's put on a horrific amount of size, and he looks like the bollocks. And Dave said, why don't you just fucking call yourself the UK Pitbulls? I mean, it's the closest you're going to get, because he's our first trainee.
Yeah.
And Dix had always fucking called me and Carl the Pitbulls anyway. And it was like, no, Brian, we're doing that disasters. Oh yeah, of course you are. and so we just out again doing UK Pitbulls, and me and Big Joe. We just, you know, grabbing whatever shows ever wants us. Do you know what I mean? So we're just out there every now and then.
What's that supposed to mean? It's not like him.
Well, no. Well, he only wants to book us. I mean, if Bagger wants to book me. You know?
He ain't got enough sandwiches for you.
Yeah, exactly. That ain't happening, brother.
He ain't got enough fucking naan bread for me.
Talking of which,
that show we did. Let's discuss. That was interesting. How wasn't it for Zach Khan?
Yeah, that was amazing. That was the best show I've been to.
That was fucking miserable. What a day that was.
Well, I wasn't wrestling, so I just ate the free curry.
We had a show for Shaq Khan, and this guy Shaq Khan, he
well, Stu was there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just explaining to the people.
Explain to Stu.
Well, no, but whoever's going to listen to this fucking shit, it was going to want to know what I'm talking about.
Fucking hell.
We just this guy called Shaq Khan. He thinks he's the bee's knees. And he might be listening. You know, he has put a lot of work in, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? I don't know much about him.
But he's the king of.
He's the king of Pakistan.
I've never seen anything like that show, mate. Honestly, it's like every time I see you, Dave, I think you have worst effect on me because I always have a stinker when you're there for some reason. I remember the first time.
To cut a long story short, that show, he was told you'll agree with me. We were told there was going to be like 2,000 people.
Oh, mate, yeah, it's going to be on Sky TV India, brother.
And we were told there's going to be 2,000 people at the show. He was catering for all the wrestlers and the crowd, and he catered for like 2,000 odd people. By catering, I mean bathtub-sized vats of fucking curry. Which is
very nice. Which
and there was 29 people.
If that.
Well, the best bit for me was I was having a piss and I just heard you go, Stu, and I was like, what? Thinking something bad had happened, and you were shouting at me because there was some geezer doing a prayer in the ring.
Yeah, there was some Indian folks. We worked each other, didn't we, that day? And that was, and my back was fucked, and no one could really give a fuck, so we just. I
was ripped off my face. Your back was fucked, so we let Joe and Jonk get in there, basically.
Yeah, we just done as little as possible, really, didn't we?
And I just was backstage eating all the free curry, really.
So we just got out of the ring as quick as we could, and upstairs to the curry room, and filled our faces, didn't we?
Well, I remember he said, can you please leave the chairs alone? Don't touch the chairs. So I said to Mike, throw me through the chairs.
Yeah. But all credit to the guy, all credit to Shaq. He looked after us.
He did. Yes, he did.
You can't fault that. I mean, all the boys on that show were looked after well, and no one done the rumble.
yeah, we all fucked off home before the rumble. And seeing you coming down.
Curtis
Curtis
probably done the rumble because he's probably got his tongue up his arse. Probably he likes it.
Curtis was probably the only one that fucking did the rumble. That's the only reason he won it.
Who's doing the rumble? Yes, Shaq. I'll do the rumble. Yes, Mr. Khan. I'll do the rumble. I'll just phone up Bagger and ask him if I can do the rumble for you, Mr. Khan. No.
I just remember saying, was it you, Dave, or Mike, who was just slowly coming down?
Me, in the lift. The slowest lift in the world.
The slowest lift in the world, just all happy eating your little in a chapati or something.
By the time I got down, that was a glass. By the time it got to the bottom, I'd eaten the fucking curry, and I was on my way back up again for some more. So it was. Talking of lifts.
Hang on, just before we go on about the lift situation.
No doubt.
That was a laugh, that show, because you were on it, Jonk was on it, Baz was there, Kovacs was on the show, who's a laugh.
It was just weird, wasn't it? It was just weird.
Chris Curtis, who's a great guy, and I just ripped it to pieces. But I do love the guy. He's a great.
I love him. He's a good lad.
So it was a fun day.
We have a thing about lifts, though.
Lifts. Do you want to know the lift story, Stu?
Go on, of course I do.
Do you know about a lift story, Stu?
Was I in it? If not, tell me.
We're not Italy.
The Italian lift story. Do you know about that?
Go on. No, I've not heard this.
The Italian.
Have you not heard this story?
No, brother.
We did a tour of Italy, right? And with Rikishi, we did it one year, and it's brilliant, really good. The next year we did it again. Now it wasn't the same vibe. It was a bit shitty, and they had different people running it, and. We ended up in this hotel near Venice, and it
NWE was it?
NWE, I think they were. We were in a hotel in Venice, and in their infinite wisdom, they put us on the 6th floor of this hotel.
Was it in Venice? Isn't that in it? Just in Venice in Austria.
You fucking idiot! It's Vienna.
Oh right, yeah. It means nothing to me.
Fuck's sake.
I'm here all night.
Fantastic.
Right.
Go on, mate. Go on.
You fucking twat you are.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we're in the fucking
Christ.
I knew this would fucking happen with us three. It's just going to be an hour fucking laughing.
I'm just through. We've got a mid-Euro reference in now. I'm through with it.
Feed the world.
So, anyway, right. Okay, stop it, right. So anyway, Matt Morgan was on the show, and he was on the tour, and Rikishi, and then we're in this. It's a fucking old hotel, and the lift is tiny. We go to get in it, and then Matt Morgan's already in it, and he's like, come in the lift with us. And we're like, well, no, because it's going to fucking won't take the weight.
Alarm bells should have started ringing.
He's like, get in there, right? Well, anyway, we've squeezed in, and Matt Morgan's like nearly fucking 7 foot and that, and we've squeezed in, and we can literally, there's no more room for any more people in there. 3 of us is it.
And it's an Art Deco 1920s vintage lift. Do you know what I mean?
And it's all the warnings are in Italian, so we didn't know what we were fucking doing. Anyway, well, we did, but...
Was this for Silvano?
Fucking little bastard, yeah. So, we're in this fucking lift, and we're going down, and it fucking stops, right? And it's one of these doors where you've got, there's concertina doors and then an outside door. we can't. We just stopped, and all we can see is the wall. Well, Matt Morgan's he's lost it.
We're just like,
he's sweating.
Just like Matt, mate. Just keep calm, man.
He's absolutely having a massive anxiety attack, right?
Oh man!
And he's flipped out. He's going, "We need to get out of here. We need to get out of here." So he's ripped the fucking door open. He's grabbed hold of the wall and he's pulling the lift up manually, fucking moving it up.
Oh
right?
my god!
So and we're like, we've managed to get down,
so down
to a floor,
right? Joined in and helped him.
And it is literally like we get to the bottom floor, like the lobby, right? And it still won't open. And we can look through the door, and there's fucking Brett Meadows, right? And fucking Ultimo Dragon with video phones videoing us, laughing their heads off through this little bit of window. We're banging on the door, and we can't get out, banging. Matt Morgan, so we've got to get out of this fucking lift. We can feel the oxygen going out the air. So anyway, in our infant wisdom, we decided we're going to use Mike as a battering ram on the door, right? So we've got hold of me and Matt Morgan have got Mike, and we're smashing him against the door, right?
I didn't have a lot of fucking choices, right?
And the door's just fucking buckled outwards and like exploded out. We've all collapsed on the floor, and the Italians weren't very happy for some reason, and the other guys are just pissing themselves. There's fucking Brett and fucking Ultimo Dragon. They're fucking pissing themselves, finding the most hilarious thing in the world. That we've like nearly died in this lift. So anyway, in their infinite wisdom, instead of like apologising and maybe giving us some compensation, they wanted us to pay €3,000 to fix the fucking lift.
Oh fuck me!
And Vampiro, who was like tour manager or whatever, was like, "Oh guys, you've got to pay them." We're like, "Fuck off! We're not fucking paying." We died.
So to console myself that night, I got smashed and stole a load of fucking Swiss rolls from the kitchen, and they billed me for them. Yeah. I got billed. Why have I got €25 on my bill? You had dessert from the kitchen. I'm like, oh mate, I was depressed. I wanted cake.
So as a result, we refused to pay, didn't get paid for the tour, and never worked for them again, which was like suited us quite nicely, really.
That was all right.
I'm quite surprised you've not heard that.
I'm amazed I've not heard that.
That's made a good story.
You asked Brett about it.
Fuck me, that's a belter.
It's his favourite story in the world. Tell everyone.
We're talking about silly stories. Let's talk about Holland.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant time in Holland.
Because how many times did we go over there? 2 or 3 times, I think we went.
Yeah. For the first one was that one where we done a 6-man, didn't we?
That was where we never thought we didn't think we were going to go back after that, did we?
No, because we'd done a 6-man. That was Van Kunder's and the Bill.
Well, because Van Kunder was late for picking us up, so I remember I lost my temper with him. And dear old Joe Legend just sat there all quietly with his willy tucked up between his legs because he thought, I'm not getting booked ever again. And then
you threatened to beat the shit out. You threatened to punch Bass in the face, didn't you?
I wanted to punch him in the face, and then I said, "Well, to make up for this, you're going to drop me and Mike into Amsterdam so we can get stoned all day."
Yeah, which he did.
Which he did, and which we did. And
but that show though, that was when we all went brawled out in the crowd. Someone threw a bottle.
Stu's already gone back. Like at the end of the match, it was a massive brawl, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And Stu's already gone backstage. Stu fucking loves this bit. Fucking. I've come running back and gone, fuck me, Mike's just been bottled, right? So fucking Stu's like, oh, fuck me.
Some Dutch bastard threw a Red Bull bottle at my head.
I remember the size. You had a fucking biggest fucking Daffy Duck style fucking bump on your head.
So we've gone out there, haven't we, and fucking basically laid waste to most of the crowd.
Oh, mate, we were knocking people out, fucking throwing babies in the air, the lot.
Yeah. And we were like, that's it. We're not going to get booked again. We fucking like just sent half of fucking Amsterdam, wherever it was, to fucking hospital. But they fucking loved it. They loved it, didn't they?
They loved it, and then we went back again.
Yeah. We went back again, and I think it was Eindhoven, wasn't it? And
it's a massive music venue, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's when these guys were working. They were called.
Didn't we wrestle Tommy End?
That was a different one. We done this show I'm talking about. They were called Ogre and Fury, and I'm like thinking, yeah, man, we're going to have this awesome match. These guys called Ogre and Fury. I'm thinking, this is fucking huge guys, man. They're gonna be like fucking monsters. And they fucking turned up. These two little fucking like
Well, Jody and Johnny would fucking give him a run for
these fucking two little nerds with fucking Deicide t-shirts come up to me. We are Ogre and Fury. We are working. I'm like, fuck.
This is our iPad. We have rehearsed moves. We will show them to you on our iPad.
This was before iPads. That was a fucking. There was a DVD fucking portable
DVD player.
They'd gone into a fucking gym, hired out a matted area, and they filmed themselves doing these moves. And they said to us, "Here's the match," and they showed us a fucking DVD.
So we were like, yeah, that's fine. That's the match. So it was like a flag match. We had like
there's one move they wanted to do where he picks him up in an atomic drop and he throws him onto me as a leg drop. I thought, okay, we'll do that. We practiced it loads.
Flags.
We practiced it loads. Yeah, we'd come out with flags. Like, just bear the flags in mind. Anyway, we come out. He does this move on me. Throws the guy on me and misses him, and he just fucking lands. His arse lands right on my face and just.
I remember that.
So I picked up the flagpole and just smashed it across this massive, big, thick flagpole. Just broke it over the guy's head. I went backstage after the match, and you're like, right, this is you, Stu. Right, Mike's been done. Let's fucking kick that in.
Did I fuck me? I'm a bad-tempered cunt.
Yeah. This is quite an ongoing thing, isn't it? When we're on shows with Steve.
But I remember fucking Mike absolutely mercilessly ribbing those cunts and making that kid go up onto the roof to find a triangle or something. And
he asked, "Do we want anything from the bar?" Didn't he?
That was it. That was the ham loaf.
Mike asked some egg juice. And he went off for about 2 hours and came back with some orange juice. And Mike's like, "No, I told you, fucking egg juice."
Wasn't that the one where he actually asked for the famous ham loaf and ham loaf didn't actually turn up?
Yeah.
And Mike didn't know what the fuck to do with it.
He asked for some ham loaf, think it'd be funny, and he would come back with some fucking ham loaf, didn't he?
Yeah, but that was good. That was good ham loaf.
Egg juice. But you did ask for it with a side of manservant gravy.
This was Holland, mate. Anything goes, wasn't it?
Oh, the highlight for me was Amsterdam, and I remember me and Mike were so keen, and we were just quaffing loads of fucking hot chocolate and whipped cream, and then Dave told us off Dave told us off like a naughty dad, didn't it? It was like,
well, this is back in the day when I used to like a smile. I don't really do that anymore.
You were like kids at sweet shop. I remember there were all these little compartments with different fucking joints in, and you're like, look, have one of them. Oh, what's this one? Oh, two of those. We'll have two of those. I'm like, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You said we were very irresponsible and you were very cross with us.
That was in my crazy days before I become a responsible parent.
No, hush.
But that was, those shows were good fun, though.
They were good fun, man. They were fucking good fun.
No, we done another one out there for those guys, and we worked at Tommy End and I think he probably only is like Alistair Black. He's called now, isn't he?
That's it.
I just dropped that name. Hang on, just pick it up again.
He's good, man. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy. But I think he hadn't been working very long at this point. And it was like,
this was his partner.
Fuck knows, I can't remember. But we've done it was a tag team gauntlet match, and one of the other teams, there's this guy. I can't remember his name either. And he goes, I go, "What's your gimmick, mate?" He's like, "I am a free fighter." I'm like, I don't really understand him. Free fighter, I thought to myself, well, can't work for free, does he? I don't know. but that means MMA out there. So we done this spot with an Insecurity, and I said, he goes, "I'm worried about kicking you in the Insecurity spot." Was it Rodney Favreau or something?
Yeah, that's the black guy.
Yeah. I said, "Mate, just fucking kick me as hard as you want." He's like,
"Well, he's a fucking UFC type fighter.
Are you sure? I'm like, "I'm a free fighter." I said, "I don't give a fuck what you are, mate." I just thought I didn't know what it meant.
He just thought he fucking didn't get paid, didn't he?
But we done this Insecurity spot, and he fucking kicked me. I never fucking know. It was like being hit by a fucking 8-ton truck. Fucking dropped like a sack of shit. I did. That's fucking funny as fuck.
Who was that one that wanted you to do the killer thing on him? What was he called?
Oh, what was he called? Oh, he had a funny old name.
They all had shit names though, didn't they? They were.
Was he called like something like the Pulverizer or something? He wanted to do the Foley spot where you get on the back and they fall on you, and Mike did it and basically nearly killed him. But
I can't remember his name now. Destructo.
Oh, I know Destructo. That's Yanis. He's a lovely fella.
Yeah, but Mike he's a nice guy, but he wanted me to do the crowd killer spot on him. I'm like, mate, I don't want to hurt you.
Well, you did.
But always those shows there always baffled me because the ring was always like it just had like a shiny tarpaulin.
Yeah.
And it squeaked, and I always found it fucking aggravating.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All you needed was some fucking baby to come and take a couple of bumps, and you're fucked, weren't you?
Yeah, it was thoroughly fucking aggravating.
Aggravating. Word of the night.
It is a word of the night. But what's tell me about your music, Mike? Because like you
got a chance to tell your own story now. Haven't you?
I want to hear about Fat and Furious.
I'm in an Ultra Vox tribute band. Yeah. Well, basically, I've been playing drums since I was 9, and I've been in bands since I was 13, 14. And I've always been in like heavy metal covers bands or a pop punk band called Dave's Having a Shit, I think. Did you hear that? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I was in a pop punk band called Spot. We've done pretty well. We had a few good gigs, but I'm now doing a rockabilly, psychobilly band called Fat and Furious. Probably it's the most fun I've had in a band for a long while, and it's a fucking good laugh. There's 4 of us, 3 of us fat, one of them skinny.
And one furious.
Yeah, he's the furious one. We just recorded our own CD. We've sold like 400 copies of that.
Because I've heard your stuff. It's really fucking good, man. You guys are all locked down tight.
Yeah, it's good. It's great. And at the moment, I'm gigging as so busy with the band. I haven't had a lot of chance to wrestle much lately. So, and I'm just taking the band stuff because I've always wanted to do band stuff a bit more. And it's just great. We've done a lot of the rock and roll weekenders, 50s weekenders. We've done a big psychobilly festival. We've done Bearded Theory Festival down in Derbyshire with Madness and Skunk Anansie and in the spring just gone. We've got some exciting festival shows booked for next year already. So yeah, but I still wrestle a bit. I mean, the last show I did a show last week for Falling Star Wrestling. That's one of my home company now.
Yep.
Where me and Bad's got their tag straps at the moment.
That's for Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy Starr. Yeah. I mean, he's a arsehole. No, I love Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy's a nice guy, man.
I haven't got many people I regard as good mates in the wrestling business. You're one of them. Flatliner's one of them. Curtis is one of them. Jimmy Starr's one of them. There's maybe 5 or 6 others that you consider like
same.
It is. Yeah, so I'm doing a few shows for them. I done a show in August at the Edinburgh Festival. That was good fun. That was a comedians versus wrestlers thing.
Oh, cool, man!
And that was it was me. I was on it with Dan Head, the FWA guys. Max Aleska, and he's used to wrestle as Max Voltage.
Yeah, I saw the picture of him. Because I remember him when we went down there for Stoney. He was this little kiddie who was like a little fucking mosquito flying all over the place.
He's quite a big shot in the comedy circuit now.
Yes, I understand.
Max and Evan, if anyone wants to check them out, they're funny. They are really funny, and they do a lot of. They've got a lot of good stuff going on. And Max has got a bit of clout there to do a show every 2 years. He does a big show at Edinburgh Festival.
I saw some pictures of that. It looked wicked.
Yeah, and that was Joe Lycett was on the show. Tim Vine, Joel Dommett. It was great. It was really good fun. That was just gone, and we had a couple of days up in Edinburgh. I still do a little bit. Do you know what I mean? But like I say, the band is more busy at the moment than it has been. So,
do you know? Have you got a time limit, like Mike, where you think you're going to hang your boots up?
5 years ago, you should have done.
I did try to retire. But then I just kind of, my missus turned around and said, "Mike, start wrestling again because you're a fucking miserable bastard." And so I did that. I went back to it.
It just clashes with the band.
I just can't keep going. I don't want to be one of these guys that are still wrestling when he's like, 60, 70.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like hobbling about. But I'm 40 next year, so maybe, I'll just get, when it comes to the stage, there's maybe a couple. I'm not going to name names, but a couple of years ago, I was on a show, and it's wrestlers like, "Mike, can you just help me take my socks off, put my boots on, will you please?" And I'm like, I did, and I said to Khan, who I was tagging with at the time, "Mate, when I get to that stage, fucking tell me and I'll retire."
Fuck me, what mate was it?
No, I'm not getting those names, but
yeah, I totally understand that, man. But like I say, we need to get you guys down in the new year because we need to hook up more because we never see enough of you.
Yeah. totally, man.
And is there anyone you wish to cunt off or plug before we turn this in?
Yeah, Mike. Actually, you ain't got all night, have you? No one might.
Well, we haven't covered Scott Future properly, but
Scott Future, Stu.
Are you the future of professional wrestling?
Yeah, there's this guy Scott Future. He wrestled some. Did he have some other gimmick? Didn't he? Fucking like.
Well, no, because we
something.
Mr. Arse Bandit or something.
That was it. Yeah, he did some like William Regal thing, didn't he?
Mr. William, that's it. Mr.
Mr. William.
Yeah, and anyway, he done the show, didn't he? And he was a sad realisation of his businesses. A lot of people use a lot of hype, didn't they, to build themselves up, and a lot of this hype isn't always what it's up to be. And he believed every single piece of
Jesus.
And he was really being bigged up, and he believed everything. He truly believed he was the future.
He introduced himself to Stu, didn't he? As
yeah, he truly. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, and he probably listened to this, and he probably thinks that's a load of bollocks. But it isn't.
Well, that show we get breaking the ring in that as well.
Anyway, this is Scott Future thing. Anyway, you worked him at Stu, and you said, that was hilarious.
Well, I remember he said to me, he said, we're doing 3 minutes, and he said, who's over? And that was it. I was like, well, who do you fucking think, you cunt?
There's been a lot of shit. We broke a lot of rings as well. In our time. We've broken a lot of rings. Jerry Norton, I don't know that name. Is that name familiar?
Yeah.
He always copped. I don't know. He's dead. I don't know. He copped that one Jerry McCarthy the other day, didn't he? Stupid old cunt. But he's always. We broke his rings about 5 times. After about 5 times,
we did on purpose.
We started doing it on purpose, and then he stopped booking us. Anyway, but we've broken a lot of rings. But if you're going to have a tag team that weighs 70 odd stone, get a better fucking ring. Simple as that.
We enjoyed your shows. I mean, there was like Frankie Capone and that. I mean, we used to have some good old nights out.
Like I said, we always had good like Mike would always get naked at the kebab van, and
that was the best thing. The kebab incident was
best. I can't remember that.
Oh mate, that's still spoken about to this day.
The kebab bloke looks over the little counter, and he's just fucking starkers, isn't he?
Mike was just like there eating a kebab like by the bushes, just totally naked. And then even the Yanks still talk about that to this day. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah. Who was that big guy? Is it Marcus Dillon? He was a good guy.
He's an actor or something now. He's got his movies, yeah.
That's Matt Dillon, you cunt.
Oh, yeah.
I remember, I'm a big comic book fan. You've got a mate called Biz, and
Simon Bisley.
Simon Bisley, and
didn't he come out with us all one night?
What?
Didn't he come out with us one night?
Yeah, we all went out together. That was like sort of made my fucking life that day, because he's one of my favourite like artists.
That's right, we got absolutely cunted, didn't we?
I think we fucking did. That was when Little Legs come out with us and started like looking up girls' skirts and that.
Little Legs, yeah. That was when fucking Fat Liner stand behind Little Legs and Little Legs is like, is it raining? Looks up and Chris has got his old boy out pissing all over. Chris, you cunt, you're fucking pissing on me. Then he hung him up on a hook, didn't he?
Then he hung him up on a hook, yeah.
I remember he walked into a gentleman's tailor's once and just sat him on the fucking counter and said, here you go, dwarf, and walked off. And just left him sitting there, and the geezer just carried on working.
I love it.
I've got to say, talking about Chris, when we were in Italy, the same tour, fucking bastard, right? We're in a different hotel, and Chris comes in our room, Flatline, and he's like, we're chatting about something. He says, "Can I just use your toilet?" Well, over there, they've got toilets and bidets, haven't they? So Mike's like, yeah, you can use the toilet, and I thought that's the biggest mistake we've fucking made.
Oh no!
He come out. Chris come out of the room and a big grin on his face. We go in there. He's took the biggest shit you've ever seen in the fucking bidet.
You know those fucking overhead mics when you're doing like filming and stuff. Those big, huge boom mics. Look like fucking one of them.
So we then proceeded to have to move it into the fucking toilet. It's fucking disgusting.
Oh, fuck me, mate.
No, I did sniff it first, though. If we're going to wrap this up, right, I will just say, before we go, there's a few guys on the scene that I really rate at the moment. There's quite a lot of guys out there. So if anyone out there who wants to check out some new guys on the scene, I really rate Brian Brian Maxine. No, there's some guys like I just want to give a couple of shout outs. There's like Crusher Curtis, James Castle, Zoe Lucas. So those guys are really impressed me lately. There's that guy that does the Phantom of the Opera gimmick. I don't fucking know his name, but he's got like a fucking wears like a half a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's quality. Do you know what I mean? I think that's important for the new guys coming through. You know, I mean, we had that with with Scott Murphy and Danny Collins of the Knights and that. They all bigged us up when we first started. I think that is important.
I quite like that Stark girl from Jim.
Oh, Ashley Stark. Yeah, she's
Stark.
Yeah,
she's a good.
Fallen Star Wrestling. Basically, they're my home company, and they've got some great workers as well.
Obviously, Dan. I love Dan to pieces. I know James Castle very well, and little Zoe, she went on with Tarn at the Gospel Show, and she's a lovely kiddie, actually.
Yeah, no, I tagged with her at the Edinburgh Festival show not so long ago.
Yeah, she's a really nice, quiet kid. But that's cool, man. I wasn't expecting any positivity, Mike, but I do appreciate it.
There's a little bit lurking around there.
You are nice. You are nice.
Remember loads of stuff, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll have to do a part 2 because I'm going to remember so many stories.
Mate, I'm just fucking thrilled to bits with the Vienna quote. That's done me for the evening.
That's got to be a soundbite.
That's my fucking highlight forever, man. I love that. That's fucking awesome. Yeah. But thank you guys ever so much, man. I know it's not easy to get you two guys together at the same time and on the same page, but I thoroughly appreciate. I thoroughly appreciate having an hour of your time tonight. And I love you to bits, and like I say, we will endeavour to get you guys down and spend a lot more time with you.
Yeah, we'll try and come down and see you sometime.
I'm not
bothered about you, you cunt. I want to eat fucking Tarn's
There's plenty of cakes to be had, sir.
I just want to eat Tarn's pie, a cake, I mean.
Easy, what? Come on.
Eat Tarn's pie, you reckon?
No, I want to...
like my dear old dad said, rest in peace, he said that even a good one tastes off. So there you go.
Alright, mate.
Right,
thanks for that.
Love you both, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, sorry to anyone I cunted off.
No, don't be silly.
I really couldn't give a fuck, so...
Right, love you, boys. Take care.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Right, it's time for Wrestle Wrap Up. Over to little man Dan, who's eating a flan. Over to you, Dan.
Thanks, man, for that introduction. I am back on the Stiff Right Hand podcast. It's youtube.com/Wrestle Wrap Up. But let's get straight into the news. Now, the big news is that Kane is back in the WWE. He's back. He's a SmackDown Live star, but he's on Raw apparently because WWE sometimes makes no sense. And WrestlingNews.co has reported that some backstage information has come out regarding the surprise return of Kane to Monday Night Raw this week. And word is that most people backstage actually didn't know he was returning. Now, Kane is currently trying to become the mayor of Knox County, and he recently hosted an event that included Daniel Bryan and The Big Show to help boost his campaign. Now, the election occurs next year, May 1st, and the final election is later on in the year. But why did Kane return to the WWE? Well, the reason most people backstage did not know about the big red monster returning was to help prevent the leaks hitting the internet prior to Monday Night Raw. Now, there was some speculation that Samoa Joe would in fact be the secret partner for The Miz due to injury and the return time and it all working very well. But the WWE, let's be honest, whether you like it or not, they did an amazing job keeping it from everybody backstage and on the internet. Now, this weekend's first WWE pay-per-view appearance since 2016 Survivor Series, and he will be competing at tables, ladders and chairs, where he'll be teaming up with The Miz, Cesaro, Sheamus and Braun Strowman to take on Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, aka The Shield. But how long will Kane be on TV for? Well, there's a report coming from PW Insider that suggests he won't be there very long. After Kane interfered in the steel cage match which saw Roman Reigns take on Braun Strowman, hell broke loose, and it seems like we could be seeing Kane not around for very long, because Mike Johnson from PW Insider has revealed that WWE have plans for Kane going forward, but suggests it's only a short-term thing. Now, as well as PW Insider stated that Kane's return has been in the works for a couple of months now, he also said there isn't much planned for the former world champion. As a result, this Kane would probably only be around for a month or so, which means we'll have him for TLC maybe a few weeks after that. But there's also conflicting rumours with that. See, since Kane returned, there's been rumours that we could be seeing The Undertaker return to WWE TV. According to Wrestling Inc., we could in fact see The Undertaker return to team up with Kane to take on the Shield at Survivor Series. So there are conflicting reports, there's speculation regarding The Undertaker's potential return for one last match at Survivor Series throughout the whole IWC over the last few weeks. And now Kane has returned, actually it makes sense, because there's been some reports that the reason why Kane has returned to Raw is to make up for The Undertaker losing at WrestleMania. And he's there to get revenge on Roman Reigns. So it does make sense. Maybe we will see The Undertaker return at Survivor Series, then at the Royal Rumble, then WrestleMania. But time will tell. Obviously that's only about Kane and The Undertaker, that news, but that is the biggest news of the week with Kane returning and speculation of when will The Undertaker return. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to go over to youtube.com/WrestleWrapUp because that's a wrap.
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth, you cock jazz. This is Stiff Right Hand.
Right, there you go. There's my interview with the UK Pitbulls. Big thank you to Mike and Big Dave for going out of their way to, just to sit there and slag everyone off with me. That was marvellous, and always an hour's never enough with those guys, man. We could literally tear that shit up for hours and hours and hours, but we will have them on again, no doubt. So thanks for that, boys. Right, I've got a lot to do. We've got our big show coming up this Saturday, which is when you'll be listening to this, no doubt. So leave me the fuck alone. I'm going to be busy. We're all going to be busy. Come see EWW at Sussex Coast College Station Plaza. If you haven't got your tickets, it's probably not too late. You could probably get them on the door as long as you arrive at 6 p.m, no later. But it is going to be busy. We are expecting between 800 and 1,000 people there, so it's going to be a good night. No guests next week. We're just going to be having an open session with myself and Tan, and any questions, please send them through the usual means. And in the meantime, thank you again for listening, everyone. Always a pleasure. Toodle pip.
Read all about it. Doug Williams smashed in Scarlett's Minky.